Charleston, South Carolina is the cultural capital of the South and filled with antebellum charm. But amid the colonial mansions that line the genteel streets is a stone, castle-like structure that is steeped in infamy and horror. The building's ornate Romanesque features belie its dark and grim interior.
The inside tells a different story. There's a lot of iron bars. The conditions were horrific. It was overcrowded, and many never left here alive.
This is the Old Charleston Jail, a 19th century fortress constructed to house the city's most dangerous offenders. But it's the story of one unlikely female inmate that grips the imagination of tour guide John Laverne more than any other.
It's a tale of bloodshed, disbelief, and haunting. It's the story of one woman's downfall who lived in this building, and she's never left.
So who is the unquiet ghost that still wanders the halls of this infamous jail? February 1819, Charleston, South Carolina. The state's wealthiest city is bustling with traveling merchants. Among them is a fur trader named John Peoples, who is stopped at a roadside boarding house called the 6 Mile Inn.
We had over 100 ships a day coming into this town, and the 6 Mile Inn catered typically to merchants that were coming in and out of the city.
According to legend, Peoples is greeted by the hotel's stunning owner, a 27-year-old woman named Lavinia Fisher.
Not only was she beautiful, she had a way with people that made them feel very comfortable.
Lavinia invites the weary traveler inside to join her and her husband John for a drink. But as the three chat, Peoples begins to notice that something about their hospitality seems a little off.
John Fisher kept asking him a lot of questions about his travels, who he was with, and who was expecting him at home.
Lavinia's behavior also strikes Peoples as odd. She's unusually insistent that he should sample a cup of her tea.
John really wasn't a tea drinker, but his host was so gracious and she was so pretty, so takes the cup of tea, and while nobody was watching, was able to pour the tea out.
Still feeling that something isn't quite right, Peoples heads to his room. But instead of sleeping on his bed, he keeps a watchful eye on the door.
He sits in a chair and he aims it towards the door, just in case something bizarre should happen.
In spite of his efforts to stay awake, Peoples soon dozes off. But as the story goes, in the middle of the night, he is startled wide awake by a loud slamming noise.
Lo and behold, in front of him, he sees that the bed had somehow disappeared into the floor in some kind of trapdoor apparatus.
The terrified merchant immediately flees the inn and heads straight to the police.
He tells this crazy story. This bed vanished right in front of me, and they had this trap door, and these people are really weird, and the constable's thinking, is there any validity to this?
Upon hearing his bizarre tale, authorities quickly set out for the hotel to investigate his claims. So what dark secrets are lurking in the depths of the 6 Mile Inn?